So it's been about 3 months since launch, about a month and a bit since I've played the game. I did decide to let the game breathe for a bit instead of like checking out every updates every week and going over patch notes for the past month. I think the focal point of what's been addressed was player speeds, general play kicking. There's been tweaks to types of passes, like the dummy pass has been fixed, the offloads. I believe there's been tweaks to AI as well, but reading through the patch notes, there's not much that's been done to address player spacing, in particular with the formations in the game or adjustments to the pods, like having them move as a unit instead of just the one man running onto the ball. I do have faith that stuff like that will be addressed in due time. For the moment though, there's plenty to look out for in this upcoming game. The highlights for the most recent gameplay patch, they did add a call for mark button, they improved the kicking again, and it's something I've been asking for a while. The up and under has more hang time, hopefully it does trigger some aerial contests. And it looks like they kind of nerfed the general kick timing windows, which I like because it's way too easy to get max distance. They've also balanced the ruck turnovers, dive try distance, run down tackles, offside calls. There's a lot's been worked on. I think the best thing to do is just to play a game and see how it feels in comparison to how it was the last time I played and ultimately to how it was during launch. You know, instead of just diving in and trying to test every single little thing that's been addressed in the patch. Right off the bat, I've noticed the kicking, there is a slight different timing to it, which will take a little bit of getting used to. And we can finally see a marker of where the ball's about to land. That's a nice quality of life improvement. Alright, so we do get it taken from us. We will be overcommitting to the ruck just to see if they actually exploit the space given. The AI has been in all sorts since launch. There's been slight improvements, but not enough of an improvement to make for a decent match. Alright, now I'm trying to test the offloads. It was so easy to get offloads off every time. There's like 100% success rate. It'd be nice if that's been dialed down a bit. For the moment, it does feel like that. Like I am trying to offload every time I'm getting tackled here. You can tell right off the bat the spacing is still a bit of an issue, especially when there's with the backs behind the forwards. They are a little compressed here as we do manage to spread the ball and get on the board nice and early. Now, a few takeaways. I do like the marker for general play kicking. Offloading seems to be more balanced now. On the flip side, the fends are still overpowered. It feels like you are guaranteed one fend. I think it would make for a better experience if you aren't guaranteed that one fend every time. I think I've stuffed this. Yep, I think it's a timing issue on my part. I might be too slow to flick up. Another thing I've noticed at the ruck is you can actually hold the ball and they give you a warning. There's actually an animation of them holding the ball, putting it back in, which is kind of neat. As we'll see here, the AI in attack already way more improved than launch. We'll say that. The fends, they're like guaranteed for them. As I look to play wide this time. No, back inside, back into space. That was a nice bit of play. They're not only passing one way. I love how they play back into space like this. As we get that one back. Not going to find the line, so we will get another glimpse at what the AI has to offer in attack here. Another nice little offload. I've got to say, some of these tackle animations are so good. As you get a fin going into an offload. I don't mind the offloading. It'll be nice if they could string more than one. Much better than just holding onto the pill as they spread it here. And a little cutback towards the post as we get outmatched on the wing. That's actually a nice little shift. It's like a double cutout pass. You had decoy runners, it looked like. Someone was running back on an angle. I'm not gonna lie, it's pretty refreshing. We're seeing varied play. We've seen them play tights, and now we're seeing a bit of width. Tell you what, it's way more than what we saw on launch, and even when they made changes a few patches ago. Go for the old contest. Can we trigger it? We cannot. As they work this into a rolling maul. And they're going to come to the right side. They do love their short side here. Another offload. And another bit of decent play here from the Hurricanes. This time they offload their way into trouble. We'll take that. Try to put some more points on the board. Yeah, so they have nerfed the offloads. Or the success rates of them. Try to trigger a contest, and we can, but we can't come up with it. Okay, so still not quite enough height, but we do actually kick high enough for an attacker to get there and contest. I like it, I like it. Seems like it'll be impossible to actually put up a bomb for yourself because you always get tackled after you kick. Not a fan of that. Oh, we stuffed up our angle on that. It is kind of tough to get used to this new punt timing. I do like the somewhat degree of difficulty, but I could see a lot of people complaining about this. How hard it is to get a decent kick in. So they seem pretty adamant in running. I'm not seeing a kicking game here from the computer. That's been absent since launch. As they look to spread it here and pass back in field. Yeah, like I said, I love the offloads. I just want them to be more expansive and throw a little more, pass a little more too. There we go, a bit of space to work. Test the grubber kick. I used to be able to get a lot of power with the grubber kick. That could have been a missed timing on my part again. I'm sure that's definitely one to test in the lab. I have noticed though the player speeds for the forwards have definitely decreased, which I love to see. It's just the stamina now, I guess, and the way they've worked that into the game, seeing if backs have maintained their speed more than the forwards. So that little release prompt, I basically just press X or hold X until we get warned. Might be cheesy, but it works. Interesting to see that they are opting to run it instead of kicking the ball out. Guess it's because they have the lead. I don't want to punish them for this. We're getting close to the bloody 60-minute mark. Wow, we can't even reach the sideline from here. That's an issue. Should be able to just smash it. Great, now they might actually score. Alright. There's that fend, no offload this time. We are falling off. Plenty of tackles. As they swing it wide. Back to the left. Come on, give us a turnover. There it is, the pushover. Nice little drawing pass. Look at the support play. Back in field again. And we're going to be able to take this one to the house as we punish him. We punish them for dragging this out this long. Holy, look at the clock. Now, I don't know if this works on this game, but I did just hold L3 and R3 to try and let the ball bounce instead of us accidentally taking it into touch. I'll try to test out the dummy pass. Here we go, dummy to A, throw to B. Before you could only dummy pass one way, it was broken. We'll test the left side in a bit of space here that we gobble up those meters. And there's your left side dummy, so both working. That'll be nice to incorporate into your tries. It's good because you can't really cheese the game with a dummy pass like you could on Rugby Challenge 3. In that game it was so dumb the way you dummied, you just held down on the right stick, I believe. And I'm pretty sure it like put a force field around you, like you couldn't get tackled. In this game though, it feels like it does in Rugby League Live 4. It's seamless. Now I'm not sure if there's an animation for successfully baiting the computer, but I imagine dummy passing against an actual person would be pretty handy. The rolling maul still kind of feels useless. It needs to be more interactive. We need more resistance from the defending team. All you have to do is just add in your players and hold the right trigger. Ooh, an offload goes to ground. Yeah, I think they've nailed the offloads. Can't trigger another contest though with the bomb. Oh yeah, we finally see a wayward offload. Those used to connect like 100% of the time, but yeah, that's good. That's good to see. The passing I feel is in a really good spot. I know there's some like rocket passes, but that's a nice little tackle break. We need more of those animations instead of the old, I guess, whimsical looking fins. Just a plain old tackle break would do me. This little kick is decent. That was a nice passage of play. I was a little iffy on the 5-man rucks, but I think it'll come in handy during online play. Because you could definitely punish people for overcommitting. As the fat lady sings, a little dummy, then back underneath we go. I'll try to get one more try at least. Just nice little short balls. Another bad offload. That's like a wrong time to do it and it hits the deck. Another one of those weird fast passes. Look, I'll take those any day over those looping slow passes we got. Please, no more complaints about bloody pass height. Let's see. I'll try and do one more bomb. Try to trigger a contest. We're able to do it once. There it goes. I did see the gauge for a sec, but our players were offside as they run down the sideline here, and we'll push them over. Alright, what a game. Okay, so that was my first game back after a month hiatus, and we, like I said earlier, are just about 3 months into the game's life cycle. Now if I were to compare how the game feels now and how it plays now to back when it dropped in February, there's literally no comparison. When the game released, you couldn't offload, you could barely kick the ball in general play, and you could barely pass the ball down the line. I'll say this, after tracking patch notes and reading up on the stuff that they've been tweaking over the past month, the changes have been pretty effective. There were some wayward passes, but for the most part, passing's in a decent spot. So is the general play kicking. The player speeds, I feel, are in a good spot as well. You can feel the difference between a forward and a back, but there's clearly still some things that need to be worked on. For instance, the spacing with the attacking formation still need a bit of work. Right now, they feel pretty useless. To be clear, I wasn't expecting changes to those, as those weren't in any of the patch notes. From a single player experience playing against the computer, the AI definitely still needs work, especially when it comes to general play kicking, because they don't really kick for territory. Like from around inside the halfway line, there's no sense of urgency after failing to run it out of their own end. I'd like to see them kick more into the corners, maybe going for 50-22s, have them putting up bombs. In the most recent patch notes, they added the ability to call for a mark, but the computer does not kick for territory or throw up bombs for us to even test if the mark works. I'd also love to see them be more expansive with ball in hand and, not just throw one offload, especially playing on the hardest difficulty, which is what we just played. Overall, 3 months down the line, has there been enough changes to gameplay to give it the other half star? We rated it at a 2.5 out of 5 when it first dropped. I'd say yes, but no, it's going to be bloody hard to get anything above a 3. We are seeing patches pretty much every week now, and for the most part it's steadily improving. From what I've read, they'll keep supporting the game until it's in a good spot, so there's still plenty to look forward to. For now, we're going to call it there. If you did enjoy the video, go ahead and run straight at that like button, and I'll catch you on the next one.